Hello, and thanks for joining me again for another family training. Today's family training is about scheduling your time. As you're all well aware, we're home a lot. We got a lot of time. How should we use it? Using schedules and having a plan will go a long way with your child with autism, as routines generally help in day-to-day flow. So if you schedule your time at the beginning of the day and really prepare your kid for what's to come, you'll prevent a lot of problem behaviors from arising, and you have a lot more quality time, and time where you get things done, and time where your child is playing functionally and you have some time to get things done as well. So let's get right into it. So in this training, we're going to learn why you should schedule your time, what can you use to schedule your time, and how can you schedule your time. It seems pretty elementary to us that we make schedules, we schedule our time. It's what we do every day, but it's a little bit different when we're home all day, every day, and there's no structure, no bosses telling us where to go, what to do, what time to be there. We're the bosses now. We get to control what goes on in our house, so we need to think of it that way and help our people that we interact with every day, in this case it's our kids, know what it is and what they expect, or what we expect from them, and how things should be done. So why should you schedule your time? It helps to promote independence in your child, because when they know what's going on, they're able to attend to those tasks. As you can see this from just the picture on the board, he's got a to-do list, and then looks like he just puts a little check mark when it's done. So we'll go over types of ways to schedule your time, but that's just another way of doing is having, okay, these are the things that have to be done, and then you can get them done. Another reason you should do it is to help develop and maintain a routine for your child. And like I said, especially children with autism, the routines go a long way in just going through a day successfully. So having that plan and that routine and knowing what to expect will go a long way in your day-to-day routine. You should also schedule your time because it helps your child transition between tasks and activities. Like I said, they know when one thing's done, it's done, and they know what's coming up next. And it also helps manage our daily schedule. When we're able to have our child earn the 30 minutes of iPad time at a time that you have a 30-minute conference call for work, it works out perfect. Because you made that schedule, you were able to say, hey, at this time, I need this time. So that's the time that my child is going to have their independent time, whether it's on the iPad, whether it's completing homework, or whatever the independent time is. You're able to get your daily schedule under control as well. So what can you use to schedule your time? Schedules can include a bunch of different things. You can include images, so pictures of activities that your kid likes to do. You can even take pictures on your phone of your kid doing those activities to make it very clear and easy to understand for them. Like, this is a picture of your child, I don't know, washing the dishes. So they know that when that's on their schedule, that's what's next. They have to wash the dishes. So they could also have words on them, or they can have both. And select what's better for your child. If your child responds better to visuals, pictures, or models, use those. If your child responds better to written text and is able to read it and know what to do, use words. If both is the case, then use both. If you're using the pictures, make sure they match the activity, or it can cause a lot of confusion. So, for example, we'll stick with the dishes. Have a picture of somebody actually doing the dishes. Don't just have a pile of dirty dishes. Then they might think that they have to eat a bunch of food and make a bunch of dishes dirty. That might be fun, but that's not what you wanted. So visual schedule types, you can have a to-do and all done board, kind of like that one we saw in the picture previous slide. They had all their chores on one side, and or all their activities or whatever it was. It doesn't have to be chores. And then they just put check marks next to it. It could be a calendar. You could have a daily schedule, or you can have what's called a play plan. So a play plan is kind of like the example we see on this slide here. Your plan is to do first book, then you're going to color, then you're going to play on the iPad, then you're going to clean up. A play plan is more where it's all different play activities. But again, this is kind of a daily schedule where you got your activities on one side, they move over to the completed side once they're done. And there's other ways too. You can, here, let's see, next slide. Here we go. So how you can schedule your time is activity by activity, meaning select categories but do not assign times to them, meaning kind of like the examples we just saw. You pick all the things that need to get done and then you do them, and you can't move on until you finish the one up above it. And then there's time related, where you're going to assign specific times to each activity or task. And this is kind of where, kind of like we do at work. We know from 11 to 12, we have a meeting. From 12 to 12:30, we eat lunch. From 12:30 to 3 o'clock, we do computer work. It's going to be the same thing at home. If your child wakes up at the same time every single day and you want a very structured schedule, do 8 to 9 o'clock, wake up, because that's when they generally wake up. 9 to 10, eat breakfast. 10 to 10:15, brush teeth. It could get right down into that, where you're scheduling out every single activity. That could be very beneficial, but if that's the case, you got to stick to those times. So that takes a lot of time and effort on the parent side, but it also helps the child a lot if that's the route you want to take. Not saying that's the best route to take all the time. Every way has its strength. Everyone has its weaknesses. Another form is a to-do list. So creating a list of activities or tasks that have to be completed each day. And this is checking them off as they go. So attempt to keep the schedule as you created it without making changes throughout the day, to allow for your child to anticipate what's next, as well as to develop a routine. Meaning, once you make the schedule, stick to it so that your child knows and can anticipate what's next. Change is tough for individuals with autism, and if we make a schedule and every single day we're changing it and the child can't rely on it because it's been changed each time it's been made so far, it's gonna cause behaviors. The schedules are only successful if you follow them. So if this is a route you're going to take, make sure you are sticking to it and you're doing it every single day. If day is too much, do it by week. And break it up into different activities that have to get done that week before you can continue. That means you're not spending nearly as much time making schedules, and you can just say Monday, homework has to get done, Tuesday, dishes has to get done, Wednesday, and so on, so forth. So next is a couple examples, video examples of people using schedules in their home with their child, or with how the child uses it. So let's just take a second and listen to what we have to say, or what we're going to see.
This is how I check my schedule. My Pixar schedule helps me know what I'm doing next at school. When my teacher tells me it's time to check my schedule, I walk to where my schedule is kept. This is what my schedule looks like. There are many pictures to show what to do and where to go. I have a spot that tells me what I am doing right now. I take the top picture from the line and put it on the now spot. When I am done with that activity, I put the picture in the all done box. Then I look at the top of the line again. Watch me to see how I do it. My teacher is telling me to check my schedule. I am walking to my schedule on the wall. I see that I'm done with my table work, so I put the table work picture in the all done box. Now I look to see what is next. I pick the picture on the top of the line and put it on the now spot. It says it is time to go to the bathroom, so that is where I go. When I am done, I check my schedule again. Now it says circle time. I walk to the circle, just like my schedule said. My schedule helps me know what to do and what to expect.
So this is an example of a girl using it in school, but as you can see, the same activity or the same routine can be used, just using different activities to match what you need to do in home. Next slide, we have another example. This is more just a visual of another way that it can look. So this is another school schedule that is made each day, and it just helps the child know what's coming, what's next, and where to go from there. I hope this was beneficial for you and a great resource that will help you in your future and while you are in your home. Thank you very much.